Why would I ever shoot you?
This dude's got guns out and roofling on the floor.
And that's how we start the podcast right there.
Are you going to hold that at me the whole podcast?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to wince the whole time.
The second you say some off stuff.
That's
coming
this
up
is how
soon.
Kentucky fans feel whenever they got that Mark Pope hire. They're grimacing and faking a smile with a gun in their face. I mean, you will like Mark Pope. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that.
And I didn't even.
He's gonna get you a receipt
You got
on that one.
I didn't even
Shoot
shoot you.
Shoot you, Schlancha.
Schlanch.
Speaking of Schlancha, Jordan, what are we drinking?
Left hand, because I've got my wiener in my right. Dry Irish Nitro Stout. Product of the USA.
Usos?
USA.
Down since day one-ish?
Jay.
The reason I picked this is, have you had the pumpkin one?
I think we had it on the pod.
I think we did. But the
I think
pumpkin
the can's sitting
one
over there. No.
is one of my favorite beers, to be honest. The smoothness of it. I'm not a huge dry stout guy, but I feel like this is going to be super smooth and good.
He probably rated that one super low.
It smells like
He's like it's my favorite.
What's the? I always forget the name of the. What's the generic one that everyone drinks? Guinness. Yeah,
It's right on the tip of my butthole.
that's a good place for it.
So Jordan,
Initial feelings.
my
It's kind of
initial-
watery.
My initial feelings that I have is how would you feel about, and this is not Louisville related, guys, so if you need to tune out for a second, I just want to get to Jordan real quick. We could just focus in on something.
Are we going to talk about
Your
it?
quarterbacks last year were Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. How would it feel to go from them to Anthony Richardson?
I'd kill myself. But we're going to go from them to Aaron Rodgers.
No.
Now, this is 2025 Aaron Rodgers,
Yeah.
not 2005.
Hear me out. 2 years of Aaron Rodgers wouldn't be terrible.
No.
If you make
the
the
Jets.
I
right
was just about to say.
if you make the right draft decisions. It's the Jets. That's different. It's the goddamn Jets, and they're terrible. They're always going to be terrible. That's a shithole organization and always will be. I like to think the Steelers have a little bit more going for them. Better coach, a better system in place, hopefully. And we're making some good decisions. I like the strides with DK Metcalf. I love the pick. I know we're paying him, or I like the trade. Gosh, I'm
$30 million
struggling.
a year?
I'm okay with it. I'm all right with it, especially considering the Steelers are like top 10 in cap space. So
It's all going to him.
that's okay. There's only I think one other player that is hitting our cap bad. I think a lot of our players are on rookie contracts still. So I'm all right with it. I'm hoping that we can figure the QB situation out.
That's key.
That is key. If you don't get a QB, if you keep Russ, I don't think it makes sense.
He's on his way to Cleveland right now. So.
I think Aaron Rodgers would make sense for 2 years. You go after a rookie that can come in and learn, whether it be Tyler Shuck or whether that be Jackson Dart or whether it be whoever. I'm seeing some people saying Shadeur could fall, and I would be okay with that. I know you'd hate that. But I would be okay with one of those guys coming in and learning for a couple of years, even if it meant me paying you the $50 bet.
Kenny's got Geno now anyway, so
That's true. He does have Geno now.
We have the
But there's still a chance that you all draft a rookie quarterback. Why wouldn't you?
What I think is fun is that, we drafted the guy that Shador Sanders is comp to. So it's like, what's better than getting the guy that you're comp to than getting the guy himself?
That's true.
Geno Smith, a lot of people have said some things about the pickup, but if you look back, Geno Smith has the 6th most yards in the NFL since 2022 with a dog shit offensive line in Seattle, Washington.
Yeah. I've always liked Geno Smith, honestly.
He's good. And a lot of people, I remember when, last year before the year started, there was a lot of people saying DK wouldn't be a great pick in fantasy. And I was like, if you look in years prior, the years that Geno was throwing to him, DK was eating. DK was eating with Geno. And so I think it works for – what's the deal that you all signed with him? How long is he there?
Well, I mean, it's a 2 to 3 year deal.
Okay. So that's not. I mean, you get a rookie dude in there.
You sign him, you give him an extension, you pay a bunch of money up front, and then that third year, hopefully, you found your quarterback of the future.
Yeah, I don't think he's the end all be all. Of course, he's.
But you got to think, a lot of people, like I said, they give a shit about Geno, but Geno has had a winning record the last 3 years in Seattle. Yeah. They only missed the playoffs due to contingencies that happened in the NFC just being a really good conference this year. I mean, they finished 10-7. If you finish 10-7, you should be a playoff team.
Yeah.
So I would take 10-7, considering the last 23 years of my life as a Raiders fan. I would love 10-7.
And I'm taking Geno over several of the dudes that were starting last year. Anthony Richardson, like you said, is pretty abysmal. Will Levis,
I can't
abysmal.
wait for you to start screaming his name.
AR.
It's coming.
AR. Now, there is another quarterback available, and let's go across the desk now. The Patriots have made Joe Milton available for trade.
I actually like Joe Milton.
I know that one has to hurt.
It does.
Because it seems like Vrabel has given up. And another thing is, let's just go ahead and let's pass the baton over to you real quick so you can just talk Patriots football for, 30 seconds or so. But a lot of big free agency signings, a lot of money being spent in New England right now.
Which is crazy.
You've never
though.
lasted 30 seconds, but we'll give you 15.
It's crazy, though, because all I continue to see is defensive moves and defensive players being signed. And I'm like, the one thing that I really had any type of hope for or any type of like backing from the previous year was our defense. I think obviously they got rid of a few people on top of a lot of injuries on the defensive side last year. I think we might win a few more games if the Patriots would have been completely healthy. Not saying it would have been like a playoff run by any means, but I do think that we would have won more games last year. I need to see some moves on the offensive side, honestly. I do hate that they're trying to move away from Milton because I like him, but it's Mike Vrabel's team. He's literally going to May is the pick.
Yeah.
Drake May runs well for how Vrabel likes to run an offense.
He's good too.
And he's great. I think he's got a high ceiling. And Milton wasn't going to work there.
Yeah.
If you can get something valuable out of Milton, I say do it, even though he's going to be one of those players that I kind of continue to roll with and like watch his career from afar and on another team, and it's going to probably suck because he's a hell of a quarterback.
I think personally that Joe Milton is what the Steelers thought Justin Fields was going to be.
Yeah.
And so that's why I just think it would be kind of hilarious to go from that to like an even worse version of Justin Fields and Anthony Richardson. But he's 24.
Yeah.
But he's 24. Tons of upside.
Yeah.
He completed about 50% of his passes at Florida. So you can only improve from there. He's got an arm. He can throw it far.
I wanted to ask a question since the free agency's buzzing and things are cruising along. If say you're the GM, Pats, you're the GM, Vegas, who are you picking in the draft? Where you sit now? If you could pick one player, who are you? I want to hear everyone's.
It really
take
depends
on
on if he falls, because
who?
It depends on who moves up.
Travis
Hunter.
Travis Hunter,
the number one guy.
And
now, I think I have to legit think about who my second one is, just in case someone moves up and does take Travis Hunter.
Where are you all at in the
third?
Okay.
Yeah.
But you got to think Cam Ward's going number one.
Yeah, for sure. Cam Ward's
So the only thing is you have the Browns in front of you. That's
the Browns are kind of
I've also heard that
the Browns are dumbasses too. So.
Possibly going to trade for what is it? I guess I think the Giants is the last team I saw that could possibly trade for the second pick, and they won't. I mean, I don't see the Giants taking them. Seeing the fact that they just re-signed Danny DeVito's son or whatever. I do just picture Danny DeVito playing football every time I hear his last name.
So who are you taking? If you're the
I'm sorry.
Raiders,
The Patriots
GM.
have the 4th pick.
That's why
They do have the 4th
I
pick. I'm
started to
sorry.
say
I jumped the
4th.
gun. I jumped the gun.
So
They have
it's
the 4th pick.
Browns and who's the third?
Giants.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But you got to think, the Giants are trying to put themselves in a position to buy Cam Ward from the Titans. But this is kind of a feels very Chicago, Carolina to me because both teams will be right back in the top 5 next year. Yeah. I hate to say that.
I thought at first I thought you meant from the league. I was like, tell me when the last time that happened was.
For me,
Panthers have had one good season.
Who I really want, and maybe just from a fantasy standpoint, Ashton Genty.
Oh man.
Now I will say we lost some corners to free agency. It's been a long time since I've seen the Raiders lose like day one starters on the first round of free agency, so it does show the type of job that Patrick Graham is doing. And with that being said, I think that, missing out on Byron Murphy, missing out on Chavarius Ward, missing out on DJ Reed in free agency, and they earned some big boy bucks. I think the smartest move is to take Will Johnson from Michigan. I think he'll be there at 6. The only team that scares me is Jacksonville, and I think that if they take Will Johnson, we may be forced to take Mason Graham.
That's what I was thinking was Mason Graham.
But the pick that I would love, and this is purely from an excitement factor, I'd love to have Ashton Genty, but the running back draft class is super deep, and I wouldn't mind having one of the Ohio State running backs at pick 37.
That's fair.
Just random
Kelly is the offensive coordinator.
to go off on a tangent, a small one.
Tangent.
Cameron Scatterbo, I feel like is going to go super under the radar and
I
fall
don't think
super
so.
low in the
He
draft.
reminds me of
I don't
a
think
really
so.
bad Peyton Hillis.
I think he's going to be the guy.
He reminds me of like Peyton Hillis smoked a pack of Marlboro Reds before a game.
The Steelers.
I hope y'all do take Cam Scatterbo.
No, I don't want him in the first round. I was going to actually
he's
say.
not going in the first.
No,
He's-
I know.
No.
I was going to say I would love Genty to fall, and it's not going to happen that low.
Well, you got to think. Outside of the top 10, I don't know if the Raiders don't take him at 6. I don't know where Genty falls. I think he falls to Dallas.
I don't
think he goes past Dallas.
I don't think we go running back first pick anyways, but I would love
gotta
Genty to
replace
fall.
Najee.
You've got to replace Najee. And Kenneth Gainwell, I don't think is the guy to fill those shoes entirely. And a guy like Genty would be a stud. Now, that's my dream pick. After of course, after we got DK.
Pittsburgh finally landed Darius Slay.
Nice.
Yeah, he's washed.
What was I gonna say? Oh, pick. So if I had to make a realistic pick, and I think it could happen again, I think Shedeur could fall to us, and I think that's the pick you've got to go with if he's there. If he's there, you've got to take him and get someone, like I said, up under an older quarterback to learn and prepare him to take the reins eventually. And I think, although I don't think Shedeur is as good as Cam Ward, I think he's going to be great. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, right now, according to CBS, they have y'all taking Amarion Hampton.
Yeah,
From
North
North Carolina.
Carolina. Yeah, I like Amarion Hampton, but I don't see him as a first round pick. I feel like he's
I would
falling.
love to have him at pick 37.
Yeah, I feel like
I'd
he's
be fair
falling
with
to
you.
the second round in a lot of picks.
Quinshawn Junkins.
Yeah.
It's my Junkins moving at pick 37.
That's Ohio State's kid, right?
Yes. Him or Travion Henderson. I'll take either one of them. Put him in a Chip Kelly offense. Hey, I think I've seen it before. Last year in a national championship. Sounds good in my system.
Who do they have us? And before you say this, I think I know exactly who it is.
You want to take a guess?
And
Who? What? Oh, who?
tell
what?
me
The Pats?
if I'm right. I've said this multiple times on the podcast.
I think you're leaning in the right direction.
They're an SEC team, correct? Mm-hmm. It is a Texas University.
tight end.
No,
Oh, that's that you're into the tight
offensive
end.
tackle.
What tight end is what?
What's the tight end that's supposed to go one overall?
Was that correct?
No, they have you taking Will Campbell from LSU.
Oh, wow.
So SEC
SEC.
and a tackle.
That's fair.
You were close.
That's fair. I've called it all year that.
I will say that I do think, and I'm going to butcher the name, so I'm not even going to say it, but I actually like him a little bit better than I like Will Campbell.
Who is the first projected tight end? Is it the Penn State kid?
Tyler Warren from Penn State.
I think Gunnar Helm from Texas is going to go
I say
under the
fuck it.
radar too. To be honest,
The Raiders should just draft Tyler Warren, just run full personnel all year.
that would be wild.
Him and Brock Bowers, baby.
That would be crazy. I would like to see someone on the other side of the field of your boy, somebody, a stud wide receiver or something.
What do you mean we have Jacoby Myers?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
He's the only wide receiver in the league that didn't drop a pass last year.
That's impressive.
He's a stud.
Yeah.
Was he not wide receiver 1 in New England?
Yeah, and I miss him every day of my life.
Yeah, imagine picking Tatora McMillan, though. That would get my rocks off.
I don't know. Something about him screaming, like, he's either going to be Mike Evans.
That was my dream pick if we didn't, if we were going into the draft without a wide receiver
I
addition
just
like
don't
DK.
think this wide receiver class is great.
I think that kid's going to be a freak. Thanks.
It could be a freak. There's a lot of freaks in the NFL that can't catch.
You're a freak.
You got you right.
Speaking of freaks, you know what I'm a freak for? March fucking Madness. Oh, my God. It's finally fucking here.
And there's been some great games recently.
The Arkansas game today was nutty.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. I thought Cal was going to do what Cal does and officially give up a first-round SEC tournament game.
Had they lost today, that's probably them out of the NCAA tournament.
Oh,
it's
no,
got to
absolutely.
be, right?
Yeah, they would have been first 4 out probably.
They play who next? I feel like it's a tough game, tough game
There's
next.
a lot of tough teams in the SEC.
I know, but I feel like is it Auburn next?
I mean, I could take a look at that if you want to continue to talk about some of the games that have
Yeah,
happened over the last 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about conference tournaments. I'm ready for ACC to get underway. It's gotten underway.
It's already underway.
I'm just so excited for Louisville. Okay, I've been dying for tomorrow's game.
Speaking of Louisville, the team that they play next is a team that beat us pretty handily. They play Ole Miss.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
I want a redemption against some of those teams that beat us handedly, though. That was early in the year, and I feel like we didn't really understand our identity, and we were still dealing with injuries, and we were still trying to figure out who we were. And now I've just been really
I would just
skeptical.
like to beat up on some teams like that to give it to all the Kentucky fans and say we don't play anymore.
I'm just skeptical about when we do face a team that's like in the top, 40 of the net rankings. I want to see how we're
about to play quite a few teams like that if we want to make a run.
Yeah. I'm not too scared of anyone in the ACC tournament other than Duke. I think if we
have to play before Duke,
I think we stomped Clemson. I think we stomped
all
Clemson.
Cylinders right now. We got Clemson at home, caught them off guard, and beat the dog shit out of them.
We did.
Do I think we do that twice? Absolutely not.
I would be erect.
I think we take them to the wire.
You got to think, back in 2011, we beat a UConn team by 30 that ended up going on Kimba time and won the entire tournament.
True.
Clemson is a dangerous team right now.
Kimball Walker.
You know what UConn?
Top
was
10 best.
What was the 5
NCAA
overtime? Was that
player of
Notre
all
Dame or
time.
UConn? That was Notre Dame, wasn't it? The 5 overtime game?
Yeah.
With us?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay,
with
never
us?
mind.
I thought you meant the other day. Fucking Notre Dame went to 4 or 5 overtimes
Oh, I
the
didn't
other
see
night.
that.
They beat, speaking of Notre Dame, they had an interesting call against Pittsburgh that put them over.
Yeah,
Neither
was-
team is making the tournament, but
That was
you gotta feel
god-awful.
bad. You gotta feel bad for Jeff Capel and those boys.
Yeah. Yeah. What time's our game tonight?
7.
Tomorrow.
Well, no, I mean
Oh,
the game that
that's also 7.
figures out.
Also 7.
7.
I didn't mean like us playing.
Yeah.
I just meant our game that we should watch
Yep.
and pay close
Who
attention
goes to play Clemson? North Carolina goes to play Duke, right?
Yep. If they win,
Well,
you can't just pencil teams in. It's March. You should know.
I got to pull up the ACC
Just asking
bracket.
Kentucky fan how.
Oh, you
how it
just
is to
mean
pencil
that they're
teams
on the
in.
same side of the bracket.
Yeah, I just
Okay.
mean who,
I was about to
where are we?
Yeah,
I was
we're
about to
trying to
say,
get an
We're going to
idea.
play the winner of Cal Stanford.
I knew
and
that,
That'll
yeah, I
be
just-
the game to go against potentially Clemson.
So
And then
Clemson is
potentially-
SMU Stanford. Or Syracuse, I'm sorry.
Yes, and then potentially play against Duke.
Yeah. So, honestly, I could see SMU giving Clemson a bit of a game. SMU is one of those teams that could beat Clemson, I think. I think Clemson's good, and I think they'll win that game. But
They still have to beat Syracuse.
I wouldn't be upset if SMU beat Syracuse and then beat Clemson, and we played SMU instead of Clemson. That would be a little nice.
I don't know. I also thought FSU was going to beat Syracuse, so I'll give Syracuse credit. They looked good last night. But yeah, I mean,
Carolina has to play Wake Forest before they play Duke. If Duke win, and these are all hypotheticals. I know I'm speaking matter of factly, and I don't mean to. It's just these are the teams that I think are going to make it. I don't really see anyone giving Duke a game outside of us and Clemson. And Carolina could give them a little bit. They gave them a little bit of a game the other day.
I gave them a little bit of a 3/4 of a game.
Yeah, they gave them.
And then Duke just ran away with it.
They gave them a scare. To be honest, so I would have loved for us to win the ACC regular season, but in the same sense, I'm kind of glad we were the 2 seed because that means we get to watch the game at 7 o'clock rather than 2 o'clock. Noon. Duke plays at noon on Thursday, and so I'm kind of glad we're not the number 1 overall.
I'd rather play at noon on Thursday.
I was about to say, call me selfish. I'm off all week.
Yeah, you're off, and you got a cakewalk job. But I'd be in the weeds trying to watch that game.
I'd quit.
You didn't even want to quit your job now to be able to go watch games. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you only do go to good games.
That's true.
And even then, you
don't even go to those games.
To be fair, I'm probably only gonna.
And you're never gonna go to another game again.
No, I will go
Probably
to other
not.
games.
He's gonna move out of Louisville and never look back. You'll never see this face again.
I'm going to the Kentucky-Louisville game at bare minimum this
You
year.
heard this first. Heard it first.
What,
March
football?
12th, 4:58 p.m.
I got tickets already to that.
I have somehow.
So do I. That's crazy.
I got front row tickets.
I mean, I don't have those.
to the
I have
Kentucky.
I have
some-
same tickets to same seats for every game.
I have somehow never been to a Louisville, Kentucky game.
Because you don't only go to good
football or
games. And a
basketball.
lot of times those weren't good games because we were beating their assholes in.
And then
Shut up. No.
quite a few years, it was the opposite. I mean,
Satterfield.
we got to be realistic fans here.
Have you met Jordan?
No, yeah, you're right.
Whatever.
You're right.
I think for the foreseeable future, Louisville football kicks Kentucky's asshole inward.
We do have 3 of the top 5 recruits in the state all coming to Louisville next year.
I will say this too, though.
Big dog.
I am going to go to quite a few.
You gonna go what?
I'm going to go to quite a few.
So you're going to move away further.
Racer.
But go to the...
You're gonna go to more games there than you went here in Louisville.
Well, that's because it only costs like $5 to have season tickets.
That's true.
Basically, you can probably use a food stamp to buy.
EBT.
Yeah.
You got EBT tickets.
You can swipe an EBT card for Murray State season tickets.
I was going to invite you all down to go see a Murray State game, but
As long as we're using your food stamps and not mine.
I think so. I think so. I think he's going to go back play his extra years.
Got another year. Got some more years of eligibility.
Yeah, he can go back and play football, right?
They probably will offer him an NRA NIL deal.
Probably not wrong.
Yeah.
Probably not wrong.
You don't want him taking the last shot.
Ooh,
Bad
Crickets.
podcast.
bad podcast.
So, what do we think our chances are of winning the ACC championship? Where are you at? Like
Vegas
50-50?
has us at plus 550, I believe.
Yeah, that's a solid bet.
Duke is minus 350. Yeah, I mean, I think that we're the best in terms of actually making some money off of it. I think that
best value.
I think we have the best value in the ACC. I mean, I would take us or Clemson just for money's sake.
What was Clemson like? Plus
plus 400.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously slightly worse than us just based on seeding.
You know what chaps my fucking ass?
Oh,
You know
here
what
we
grinds
go.
You know
my
what
gears.
chaps my ass?
Hot take coming.
We beat the shit out of Clemson, and we don't get any respect. Today,
get no
bracketology, Joe Lenardi drops us to an 8 seed.
Clemson has beat Kentucky and Duke.
I don't care.
It's about who
I
you
know.
beat, not
Quality of
head-to-head.
wins. I understand it.
If it was head-to-head, Kentucky would be ranked ahead of us.
It just sucks that we played our worst ball.
He doesn't want to answer that one.
What did you ask?
Continue. I was just making a statement.
Oh, I didn't hear a question mark at the end of that sentence. So.
He just wanted to go ahead and step on over that whole conversation.
Just
together.
eat like Allen Iverson to Tyronn Lue.
It just sucks that we played our worst basketball in that stretch of games against the teams that would have really helped us the most towards our seeding and stuff like that. And that's all we've heard for the last, couple months is you can't beat nobody.
Unfortunately, it's very deserved.
It is deserved.
You got
I
to beat
will
the teams
say.
that are in front of you.
I wouldn't say
Luckily for us, we've done that in the ACC, but unluckily for us, we couldn't do it against the other teams.
Yeah.
West Virginia would have been a really good win right now had they not been facing 3 season-ending injuries. Ole Miss would have been a great win. We lost by 20. Tennessee would have been a great win. We lost by 20.
We needed to beat
Kentucky
Oklahoma.
would have been a great win. That was our first and really only true road test of the year. We lost by 8, but we were missing, 4 or 5 scholarship players. I think that game would have been different if just Traore was back for that, because you've seen just the difference the team has been since Traore's been back. But at the same time, you got to beat those teams in front of us. Unfortunately, the only thing we can really write home about is beating an Indiana team that turned out to be absolute shit.
Yeah.
But that is
I'm not
gonna,
I will say,
for an 11 seed
I will say, to be the devil's advocate, that Indiana has turned it on in the past few weeks, and they are making a push to make the tournament. And tomorrow, they have a pretty good game tomorrow. I just said tomorrow twice. Holy shit, I think I had a stroke. They play tomorrow, Oregon, I believe, and I think they can win that game. Oregon has been struggling this year, and I think Indiana could make a case to be a tournament team. So.
I think Indiana has to win 2 games in the Big Ten tournament to get a single-digit seed.
Yeah. I guess we'll see how it pans out. I hate that the one team that we, thought was going to be a big win ended up being kind of a shit win, really. Again, you're right, though. You can only play who you got in front of you.
We beat Clemson, though.
And I feel like we've developed over the past couple of months into a team that could be a contender for, an Elite Eight or whatever you want to put on it, parameters around it.
What is a successful season for you? At the end of the day, what do we have to do?
So if we want to be honest with ourselves and to our past selves, we were happy to make the tournament. Our goal this year, successful year, was to win 20 games and make the tournament. And doing that, Pat Kelsey turning this program completely around feels like we've already been successful. And I don't want to say that I'm content with going and losing in the first round, because it would really suck. But I'm just happy that we're relevant again. I'm happy we're getting talked about again. I'm happy that we're going to play in the NCAA tournament, because really that's what I've been dying to see for the past number of years. So I think it's already a success in my eyes. Now, where I don't want to say expect us to go, because I don't want to put false hope out there, but I think we could, like I said, I think we could make an Elite Eight, and that would be beyond success to me. So I don't know where you all are on that, but what do you think about success stories here?
I think you were pretty spot on with that. I think that making the tournament at the beginning of the year was the floor. That's what we were once things got going and we started getting pieces together. I think that's definitely what would have made us happy. But now that we're going into it, I would like to see us in at least the Sweet 16. Because I know this team can do it. I think this team can get past the Sweet 16. It all depends on the luck of the draw, how Selection Sunday works in our favor. And, as long as we get good matchups that aid in our favor, because obviously, you get past the first, second round, you're playing nothing but great teams.
Yeah.
And those great teams could be good at something that's our weakness whenever it comes to offense or defense. And then, certain players, we've seen it time and time again where, like, Rain gets locked up because they're playing double team on them. And then Louisville just kind of looks sloppy from then on out. Just shaking off those cobwebs and getting back to being in the tournament, it does feel great. I think that we could make a serious push in the ACC tournament and a serious push in the NCAA tournament. But just being here,
Feels good.
I'm just happy to be here.
I will say the Evan Maya, or however you say his name.
Rocky Maivia?
What?
Nothing.
Yeah.
He, he's been running these computer, whatever you want to call them.
I love Tesla.
He's been running that program in it, and one of them he posted the other day had Louisville beating Florida somewhere along the lines in the bracket, and us going to a Final Four, which would be astonishing to me. That would be
delicious.
I mean, I don't even know how to put it into words how I would feel.
I think that'd be the first time you'd be speechless.
Yeah, it doesn't happen a lot, and I'm speechless just thinking about
He
it.
still wouldn't even be speechless. He'd be the loudest person in the room.
Yes.
Just thinking that there's a possibility just makes me giddy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess we'll have to get those appointments ready for the PK classes, huh?
Yeah.
Is that what it was? Final Four?
I think so. I think we'd have to look back on it.
I might put the glasses on my pecker head.
Okay.
Man challenge.
Okay.
What's a success for you?
Sweet 16.
Sweet 16.
Yep.
I think it's very
That would
doable.
have me feeling really good about coming back next year. I think that an Elite Eight run would be enough to convince Hadley and Pryor to come back with some unfinished business. But I think Sweet 16 gets us on the cusp of that. A first round exit would be devastating, even though that's something that we've just been praying for all year long, or at least for the last 6 years, just getting to the damn thing.
And I think some recruits too. The obviously, I know it's going to sound stupid saying, but the further you go, recruits are like, what could I do for this team, and how far could we go?
That also adds to the success, I think, is the fact that just PK's energy and where he's brought us back to has already put players on notice. Just the fact that he was able to get McHale, is a testament as to where we are and where we were, in the past years. So I think that adds to the success story, if you will.
I mean, it's definitely very, very fun to think that, and it sucks because, let's be honest, he'll probably only stay for 1 year, maybe 2, but
it'll be 1 year.
He's 1 year.
He's like top 10
He's going
in
to
the
go
draft.
top 10 in the NBA.
Yeah,
the only reason I say that is because me personally, I feel like it would all depend on how far I go. Like if I get put out, we get put out in the
money talks. Though.
I know, but
lottery pick
they,
money talks.
They can also get paid.
That's true.
Now.
That's
so
true.
It's a little bit different than what it used to be.
The only thing is, NIL money is not as guaranteed as our
But at
rookie
the same
contract.
time, if I get to the Final Four, I'm gonna have a fucking chip on my shoulder, and I'm gonna want to come back and try to run it back.
On top of that is, we can talk about how good players are going to pan out to be, but really, does it come to fruition? You look at players like the kid that went from Illinois to Kansas State, and look at Kansas State. Everyone was talking about how when he went there, they're immediate contender. They've been shit this year.
Coleman?
Yeah, I mean, and we were dying to get Coleman here. And it looks like, I'm not saying it wouldn't have helped, but if you look at teams like that, it sometimes it might not necessarily always pan out.
Where did was it Oscar?
Osabor?
Osabor.
He went to Did he leave?
Washington?
Go to Washington or transfer from Washington?
He went to
Transfer
Washington. That's
from
what
Okay.
Utah State.
I was just curious. I couldn't
Utah
remember.
State. That's right.
Couldn't remember
That's
where
right.
he ended up at.
Great
Yeah.
Osabor.
Now, look at JQ. He's had
But you
a
also-
pretty decent year, too. That was a kid that I was really hoping would come, and it looks like he's
He's
had a pretty great.
You could say that either way, though. You could say that about high school people coming in and people thinking they're going to be amazing, and they don't pan out at all. You could also talk about people transferring. You could talk about that in every single sport.
Oh, yeah.
Look at Florida State in football.
Yeah. I will give you that. You just never know who's going to pan out, how teams are going to mesh, especially now with the transfer portal being such a big piece, is you're bringing players in that although they may be older and know systems, they might not know the system that they're put into well enough to mesh with the other players that aren't familiar with the system.
Yeah.
So really it's just kind of a crapshoot and hoping that your coach knows how to put players together that mesh the best.
Yeah.
And I think PK's done that, with injuries included. The fact that we were able to be a tournament team after suffering the most injuries in the country, I think, for quality of player and amount of time lost, Louisville's right up there. I think West Virginia was the only one that lost more than us. Maybe Wake Forest. Those are the only two other teams that stick out to me that lost a ton of players to injury. So,
Oh, you done? Oh. You said so, and I thought you were going to continue.
supposed to add on.
Oh. So
Taylor Gang or die.
Taylor Gang or die.
Christ.
Young and reckless. That's all I'm trying to be.
I'm going to
You know?
change it to PKOD.
I just hope we go in the tournament and we just act young and reckless,
Yep. Yep.
I just hope we always strive and prosper.
Where you gonna put this tattoo?
On the tip of your nose.
On your body.
You're not going to get a tattoo?
No, I said I would.
He's asking
but I'm
where you're putting it
asking
on
you
yours.
where are you gonna get it?
On my kneecap.
Ooh, spicy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saving my kneecaps for something fun.
That sounded
Or
horrible.
gold dust tattoos.
I'm gonna get gold dust on my right and
Cody
Stardust
Rhodes? No,
on my left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. That's my favorite version.
That
of
way,
Cody
whenever I
Rhodes.
sit down, you're just like staring at them.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that.
All right, Jordan, we're not going to record again until after Selection Sunday. Give me a hot take.
Just any sport?
I mean,
No,
I prefer
I would-
college basketball.
Hot take for college
the fuck?
basketball.
I don't know. Give us a hot take for
Soccer.
water polo.
MLS. Give me your favorite hot take for the week. Yes, college basketball.
I think LA Galaxy.
Hot
could really
take. Kentucky loses to Furman in the first round.
to Furman.
So
We
not
don't-
only you should put this in a bet. If you're gonna bet who is playing who, that is wild.
Yeah.
Also, we're gonna record before the actual tournament starts. I'm just asking you that we're not recording prior to Selection Sunday. Give me a hot take.
next time
for the
we
conference tournament.
Okay, I
next-
got a great
the next
one.
Or
Here
for
you
the
go.
tournament itself.
Even better.
The seeding and
Yeah.
all
Even
that.
better. I'll tie them all in together.
Oh my goodness.
Louisville wins the ACC championship and is a 4 seed.
That's hot.
So you beat the number one team in the nation, and we can't even squeak a 3 seed out of.
I mean, they're putting us at an 8 seed right now.
We'd be lucky
so-
to be a 4, even if we win the ACC.
I don't think. I think it's very justifiable. You beat Duke in the ACC championship. You definitely deserve at least a 4 seed,
What if it's UNC?
5 seed.
Okay. Just making sure.
I feel like you need to beat Duke. That's the one team that
I feel like we argued about this last podcast, so I'm glad you came around.
No, I argued that we didn't need to beat Clemson. Just that we needed to beat Duke was I think a definite. I think if Clemson gets beat by SMU, if that's the team that comes out of that section of the bracket, I don't think it affects us making it to a 4 seed. If you're able to beat Duke in the championship. Mm-hmm. Any hot takes from you?
Putting me on the spot.
I got one more if you want.
Go for it.
Alabama wins the SEC championship.
The ACC championship.
I said SEC.
Whoa.
That is the hottest
Hot.
take ever.
I said SEC.
Sizzling.
I said SEC. You can go back and rewind that and
I
listen.
don't think that's what
I
you
did.
said.
It
Man,
just sounded. It didn't come out of my mouth right.
That is like statistically improbable.
Yeah.
And
I think Purdue wins the A-10.
Fuck you guys.
I think Furman wins the SEC tournament.
That's a good one.
They're going to play Kentucky. That's actually what you meant. Is
Yeah.
Furman was going to play.
Yeah, actually, how was Furman getting in when they lost to Wofford in their
Did they?
conference championship?
Yeah.
I don't think Furman's getting in. They were the 5th seed in their conference. I don't think that they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna get 5 bids to the big dance.
Go Paladins, though. That's
Good point.
Nothing. I was just saying go Paladins. You know?
My hot take has nothing to do with the NCAA tournament. My hot take is that the Pittsburgh Steelers miss out on Aaron Rodgers to the New York Giants and are forced to trade for an even worse version of Justin Fields.
My favorite part about that hot take is you told him he was an idiot for asking what sport.
Yes, that's the main reason I did it. But I think it happens by time we record again.
Yeah, I think he signed somewhere before then for sure. I
think he
think it's the
retires.
next day or two. I would
He
agree there.
retires. Him and Shailene Woodley get back together. They go off on some weird retreat, and he overdoses on peyote.
But you gotta think about it.
calling
If
it here,
he
that's-
sign, here's my other hot take. If he does sign with the Steelers, so this is going against my original hot take, but if he does sign with the Steelers, he takes George Pickens on an ayahuasca trip, and it saves the franchise.
I agree with that.
I got another hot take.
Okay.
He retires. Okay. He goes on The Bachelor. Just like his brother, and just to rub it in his brother's
Yeah.
face, since him and his family don't get along. So, and then he's gonna walk out, and they're gonna give the final rose, and then he's gonna go, you know what? My final rose goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and then he comes next year.
I'll come next year too.
That's a wild take, right there.
What's your actual hot take, douche?
My hot take is, I don't know. I really don't know.
Jeesh.
Chucky Hepburn's gonna drop a 30 bomb in our first game tomorrow.
It doesn't seem like a hot take. to
It
me.
really doesn't.
That seems like
It's
a
happened twice
I
this
was about to
year.
say it's
scorching regular take.
Yeah. Now, if you were to say like Aiden McCool,
That would be extremely hot, piping hot. I would love to see Chucky drop another 30 bomb. I'm not gonna lie. That would
you
get
feel it in
me
your loins.
deep down in them.
My hot take is I really don't know. I don't have any hot takes.
You're bad at this.
I'm very bad at this.
The dog even had a hot take.
Yeah.
The Celtics beat the Thunder tonight.
No one cares. It's regular season
That's
bullshit.
dumb. Boo.
This is the worst hot take I've ever heard.
Boo. That's like a lukewarm take.
I got the
That was-
hottest take.
That was actually just my way to.
You're going to go to more than one football game
hold on.
next year.
That was my way to segment into this next part, right? So
If this is about the NBA, I don't
it's
give a
about-
shit.
It's gonna be about LeBron.
it is about the NBA. So it's crazy that
NBA
I
kinda
didn't hear
sucks.
from Kenny for 2 days after the Celtics beat the Lakers. But I can guarantee had the Lakers beat the Celtics, I would have had to hear from him nonstop for 2 days.
The regular season NBA kind of sucks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to lie to you.
Don't even say that, Kenny, because if
Just like-
and you know for a fact,
Just like,
say yes
Baseball.
or no.
Regular
you
season
would have reached
baseball
out.
kinda sucks.
Had the Lakers
why do they play so many
beat the
fucking
Celtics, you would have
games?
reached out to me.
I'll be fair with you. I didn't even know the game was happening.
No one did
Okay.
because it was
But
a
if
regular season.
if I
game.
did see that had come across my screen, yes, I would have said.
Who
yes.
has time to watch 7,000 games in 1 year? I'm not trying to watch all that.
That's 82, but
Yeah, it's really not that much.
that's a lot.
I mean,
That's a ton.
It
That's
is,
a lot.
but
But it does bring it back to just thinking about the greatness of LeBron. I did see a thing earlier that in the 2018 conference finals when Cleveland beat the Celtics, LeBron was the first overall scorer in the entire
LeBron
series,
James.
followed by 5 Celtics. In the Lakers, and the Cavaliers still won that.
The LeBron James.
It's crazy how good LeBron is.
NBA sucks.
Yeah, Tatum dropped 40.
It's pretty
against them
terrible.
this week, so whatever.
No one cares.
No, I don't.
I
Either.
do.
Literally no one.
I do.
Literally no one.
Literally,
Tatum's gonna be forgotten about.
The NBA is going to be forgotten
I
about.
don't think.
At least
I
the
don't think
WNBA.
he will be at all.
I was going to say something, and I don't remember what it is.
That's probably for the best.
Probably. College basketball is the best. Fuck the NBA.
I like college football.
I like college sports in general.
Okay.
Anyways, this is bad podcasting.
All right. My hot take, before even seeing Selection Sunday, I'm going to pick four teams
Okay.
that, if they're not obviously in the same side bracket, that they will. This is going to be the Final Four.
Here we go.
It's going to be 2 of them are fairly.
We should all do this. I like this. This is what
It's
I
going to
like.
be Auburn,
Okay.
Houston. Those are the 2 like
That's
obvious
my-
kind
yeah.
of things.
Yeah.
Iowa State and Louisville.
Iowa State is hot.
Yeah, those are going
Hot
to be.
take.
If they can somehow be in 4
Big
different
12
brackets,
teams. Incredible.
I'm on it right now.
What's your 4?
It's hard to say without actually seeing the bracket.
It is
and
hard.
seeing the course. But if I had to
I-
name 4 teams,
Just 4 teams that'll make a good run.
4 teams to look out for in the NCAA tournament: Duke, Houston,
Auburn.
Louisville, Florida.
I do like Florida. I will say.
I'm going Auburn, Duke, Louisville, Houston.
Wow, unoriginal.
I'm sorry. I had to throw Louisville in there, but I think Auburn, Duke, and Houston are like guaranteed lock. I mean, as long as the brackets are, which they should be. Those are going to be the 3 ones.
March Madness. Anything can happen.
Well, those will be the 3 ones for sure.
Who?
Duke, Houston, Auburn will be ones, I think. So I will ask you, if Louisville beats Duke, did that drop them out of 1 seed?
No,
I didn't think so. I would
don't
think
think
they'd
so.
still be 1 seed.
I think it'd be too late in the process.
Who's the
They're
4th?
already.
Tennessee right now, the 4th? Or is it
No, it's some other SEC. It might be Florida.
Florida, maybe? It's got to be either Florida or Tennessee, I'm sure. I think in that Maya bracket that I was talking about earlier, he had us, did I say beating Florida?
Mm-hmm.
That would be an insane win. That would be awesome.
What do you think about this beer?
That's what I was about to get to.
Glad we're on the same page.
Am not, I don't know what it is. Dry stouts are not for me. I
mean, you do like Bush Apple. That makes sense.
I keep hoping that I'm going to like them, but they taste like ashtrays to me. Like,
That's a hot take.
I don't know. It's weird. I'm going to give it a flat 2.
Flat 2.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It like
Very dry.
yeah, it was very dry and it was weird because it was like
There's no sweet notes.
it was almost like
I
it
need a
had
sweet
like
note.
Why'd you get a dry stout if you were looking for sweet?
Because I keep hoping that I'm going to find one that I like, and
What
I
in
never
the
do.
hell is wrong with you?
a lot.
Well,
I needed something sweet, so
well,
I got the exact opposite.
That's not why. I got this because it's an Irish, and it's St. Patrick's Day is this weekend. So
I
that's the
get
only
it.
reason I want
We would have been better off with you just getting Bush Apple and
Also,
Diamond
here's a
Green.
hot take for you.
If you
before,
can find Bush Apple,
before
I will suck
Zach
a fart out of
actually,
your ass.
before Zach actually gets into his actual rating of the beer, here's a hot take. Why does the city of Louisville host a St. Patrick's Day parade the week before St. Patrick's Day?
That's how it happens. I always wondered that. It did happen already, didn't it?
Yes, it was March 8th, and I
didn't
forgot
know
all about
that.
St.
We
Patrick's
talked about
Day.
it at work today, and I was like,
So
I
I'd say-
thought it already happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's stupid. Maybe we just plan on not a lot of people coming to ours, and so we like move it over.
Yeah, why do we want to celebrate that holiday twice?
So we're a bunch of Catholic drunks.
No, okay.
That's fair.
Zach, what do you rate the beer?
1.5. I don't like it at all. It tasted. It was like every time you took a drink of it, it was like it had like a little like layer of water on the top, and you only got like
water.
You only got a tad bit of taste from like the back end.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a little higher than both of you guys on it. I like the roasted malt character of it. It was a little watery, but I feel that way about a lot of the left hand stuff, especially the Nitro products the left hand puts out. That was kind of my only turnoff to it. And
I'm picky about Nitro as well.
If it wasn't Nitro, I think it would have been a better beer. But I understand the gimmick behind Nitro beers.
I love Nitro beers.
But I actually rate this a 2.5, which gives this beer a 2 across the board.
Solid 2.
Solid 2. I think it's our lowest one so far. So,
Yeah.
sorry, Left Hand Brewing Co. But
We probably gave their other beers a better score, I would imagine.
we've only done one, right?
Yeah, we did the pumpkin.
Yeah.
Zach has a lot of beers to catch up on Untappd.
Speaking
I
of
do.
the beers, how are we going to do the beers when you move? We got to figure that out. Are you going to buy the beer and then, because we'll probably be able to find it easier than you.
Yeah.
Like a beer, you
We'll-
know what I mean?
We'll
to
figure,
match.
we'll figure it out.
True that.
Yeah, they probably don't even sell beer in Murray.
Probably not.
They do. They do it as a
They sell football tickets.
we're in a wet county, okay? Went wet a couple
be
years
wet.
ago.
Yeah, well, you chat my ass.
He's got a wet chapped ass.